Hey everyone, Jamie Batts, the Doodling Professor here, and today we're talking about starting the semester off strong. Who doesn't want to start the semester strong? Maybe your semester already started, or maybe it's starting next week, or maybe it's starting today. But you have the ambition and the drive to be successful this semester. So let's think about how we're going to be really strong and successful this semester, even if you weren't strong and successful in the past. Tip number one that I have for you is mindset. It's really important that you get in the positive mindset, this growth mindset where you realize you can do it. There's one thing that I've learned in my almost 20 years of college teaching experience. It is the students that end up dropping the course early on in the semester. In other words, after the first lecture, after the first week. Those are the students that walk into class shaking in their boots. They're not prepared. So if you haven't already got prepared for class, take the time now. Think about all of those things that we have been talking about over the past couple of weeks. You can watch the last couple of YouTube videos that I've made or go over to my blog. I talk about ways that you can get prepared, ways that you can strategize and goal set and set up for time management throughout this semester. That is one of the most important things you can do, is get organized and prepared before the semester. But let's say that you've done all of those things and now it's the first day of class. What are some things you can do? Well, you're literally walking into lecture on the first day of class. How are you going to, first of all, how are you going to carry yourself in, right? Are you going to walk in confidently, walk in with a group of people, go in at the last minute? Are you going to get there early, right? So I always suggest students getting there as early as you can, because you never know what parking is going to be like, especially those of you on a community college campus where you are, driving in, parking and having to walk to class every day. Students that are in that situation, I would say leave a good 30 to 45 minute buffer before you want to get to class, because I know, especially at the colleges I've taught at, the first day of class is like driving around the parking lot looking for a parking space. It is crazy. So take some time to make sure that you can get there early, okay? The other thing, introduce yourself to the professor at the end of the first lecture. You want to stand out to them, and this is why, okay? When I was a student, I always wanted to sit in the back of the class and kind of hide, and maybe that's something you can relate to too. But I can tell you, the students that come up and introduce themselves to me, or tell me why they're taking the course, or why they have a personal interest in the course, or that they've taken the course before, but they're really excited for this semester because blah, blah, blah. Whatever the things are, right? Setting yourself apart from day one just helps the instructor engage with you a little more. And what I mean by that, especially in lab courses, they are going to feel more comfortable talking to you, right? It's a two-way street. It's not just the students being nervous about talking to an instructor. The instructor has nerves too, right? The professor's going to be nervous about talking to you on the first day of class too. They don't want to call you out. Now, I'm speaking from personal experience. I don't want to call someone out. I don't want to make them uncomfortable. But if someone comes up to me and introduces themselves to me, I'm the type of instructor where I now realize that you've opened the door for us to develop this mutual relationship. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm saying to introduce yourself to the instructor so that you stand out. This is also going to help them when they are sitting there grading quizzes or tests or papers or whatever. They can associate the name on the paper with a face. When you start separating yourself, they are going to more than likely say, oh, okay, that's this person, right? And the earlier they can do that, the better impression you can give them. So that, and I'm not saying that me personally, that I round up or that I give extra bonus points for that sort of a thing. But what I'm saying is it just helps them empathize with you a little bit, and they might be more apt to give you that extra half a point or assume a little bit in your answers if they already have a relationship with you and they already know a little bit about you. So that's what I'm saying. I hope that came clear across. I'm not at all saying that I play favorites or that instructors play favorites. I mean, some of them do. I went through college, I get it. But from my experience with the people that I work with, that's not something we do as a practice. But it is something that's always in the back of our heads when we are grading papers. We're more likely to assume in the answer if we know you. And that can obviously help you, the student. Other things that you can do to start your semester strong is show up to class with your supplies. Get your supplies early on, as soon as you can. I know at the colleges I've taught at, sometimes, especially the really popular like A&P1 courses, the textbooks sell out very early. This can be frustrating for students the first week of class if you haven't got your books yet. Walking into class on the first day, everyone has their books but you, and the bookstore's sold out. Ooh, what do you do, right? So, so getting those books before the course starts is super important, I think. You can look at online alternatives for ordering the textbook. Most A&P textbooks that I've used have an e-text version that you can purchase also. So if you aren't able to get a paper, physical copy of the book, get the e-text as soon as you can. And usually your instructor might even have a couple access codes for you, so you can access the textbook for free until the hardback or the actual physical copies of the book come in. So that's another little tip for you to help you, not be so intimidated on the first, couple weeks of class, and to help you, start the semester strong, which is what this is all about. I want to help you start the semester strong. Another tip that I have is to join a tutoring group or a regular study group as soon as you can. The quicker you establish relationships with your classmates or with other students taking the course that you're taking, the better you're going to be. The more you speak the language of science, the more effective you can be. And this is the whole philosophy behind the Doodling Professor's online communities. I really wanted to create an area where students, my students and any student in the world, can meet and chat and talk and seek guidance from me or from other professionals to get help in their content areas. And so joining either online virtual communities like the one I have set up, or joining a physical group at your college or institution or within your class is going to be very helpful. I know at my college, there are some instructors that will hold like Friday night, like happy hour type study sessions where they kind of open a lab up and students come in and they can kind of touch and feel the models, and they're there as a mentor or a helper, to help them learn the materials. So if your college has something like that, start it right away. Don't wait until the first test. Don't wait until you failed the first test. The more you build it in as a habit, the easier it's going to be for you to continue with it throughout the semester. Another thing you can do to start strong, other than joining a study group, would be to seek out all types of support that your college offers. Look for the tutoring center. Look for your instructor's online office hours, whether they're online or in person. Look for all of the support systems that are put in place for you, and know where they are and how you can access them if you find yourself at midterm saying, this is not the grade that I want. You want to know what those things are so that you're not already in that point of having failing grades and then saying, I don't even know how to get help, right? You need to take that ownership into your own hands. So get organized and get on top of it in the beginning of the semester, and that won't even be an issue later on. My last and most important piece of advice, I think, is to make connections with other people in the class. Exchange phone numbers, Facebook names, whatever, with other students in the class so that you can get your notes filled in. Maybe you dozed off in class, or maybe you wrote something down but it just doesn't make sense to you. You want to be able to reach out to other students in the class. It is much easier for you to do that than to email the professor. And most professors have I check my email every 24-hour policy, right? So you're in the moment, you're studying, you're confused, you need the answer to a question, you send them an email and they're not going to respond back to you until tomorrow afternoon, right? Having peers in your class, connections with them, is hugely important. So even if you're an introvert, even if you're scared to share your information, there's apps and other things you can use so that you're not just giving them your phone number. Set up something like that with other students so that you can get that help and that support. I hope these tips helped you start the semester strong. I hope you all have an amazing semester. Please reach out to me, join the online community. I'll link to it below for you. The online Doodling Professor community is there to help connect science students around the world who are all going through the same thing. We all struggle, we all have issues, and we can all help each other. So let's do that. Bye.